listening to the young lady, and she is a lady, I could not help but shed a tear to think, to try to have to relive the suffering that she went through, and to think how many other children are, even as we here sit in this fancy hotel room, eating our fancy food, continuing to suffer the same fate as she has. And accompanying those tears that I just shed was a deep sense of shame, because we have not done enough for the Philippines to now be considered the epicenter. I leave it to your imagination, and I would imagine in some cases your imagination cannot even begin to fathom what is done to these poor children. We must do more.
And gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. We may now be seated.
Sugat na hindi maipaliwanag. Importante ang bawat detalye, kaya huwag matakot magsalita. Kung may duda, i-report ka agad. Mga otoridad na ang bahala.
Responsibilidad nating magsalita para sa kanila. Tayo ang boses ng isa't isa.
Dito sa bayan namin, tahimik, pero di kami tatahimik.
Di kami titigil. Sama-sama, pagtutulungan namin. Hanggang sa kahuli-hulihang bakas ng karahasan, tatanggalin at lilinisin namin.
Sama-sama nating wawakasan ng OSAEC hanggang sa kahit pinakamaliit na bahay, siguradong wala sa bayan namin. Ganito sa bayan namin, sana sa inyo rin.
Bayan mo ng bahid ng OSAEC para sa isang bansang ligtas sa OSAEC. Iisang Nasyon, Iisang Aksyon.
Are crimes committed against children, specifically sexual exploitation. And during this meeting, he ordered all of those present to immediately crack down on OSAEC. This is our president ang nagtatanggol sa ating kinabukasan. Ladies and gentlemen, last May 13, 2024, the Philippines participated in the 33rd Conference of the Commission on Criminal Prevention and Criminal Justice in Vienna. In one of the side events, it was the first time that I heard that the Philippines is considered to be the epicenter of online child pornography per accounts of an international non-government organization. Sa totoo lang, bilang isang Pilipino, napakasakit pakinggan po nito. That is why our call to action, and I've told them that we will protect our children. That is the call of our president, and that is, of course, everyone's call to action. Lahat po tayo. But then, I stated in that summit that we are the victims. We will do something about this. But it is time that other countries must penalize the end consumers, those who watch the videos. Each and every country should pass this law penalizing the end consumers. My dear friends, based on DILG's VAUSI data, from January to June 24, there had been a total of 22,421 children who have experienced physical, sexual, emotional, and psychological abuse, neglect, and other types of violence. On the side of the PNP, they conducted a total of 94 OSAEC operations from January to September 2024, which resulted in the rescue of 169 victims, the arrest of 51 suspects, and the filing of 60 cases. My dear friends, in the side of the ILG, we have this memorandum that we gave to all local government units. Number one, they should adopt local ordinance against OSAEC and CISEC. This is mandatory. Number two, They should monitor percentage of LGU and staff social service workforce who are trained to implement special child protection laws, including OSAEC. Number 3, monitor the number of reports made by LSWDO to a report of a suspected or alleged OSAEC incidents are made. After Alice Goo, after Pastor Kibuloy, but for me, ang pinaka masakit sa lahat at talagang tinamaan ako was this trip to Dubai. What is this? This is the arrest of a certain Teddy J. Mojica. This person has victimized 111 young children. The youngest is 9 years old, and the oldest is about 15, a median age of 13 years. What is his? How does he do things? He will offer 500 pesos to young students to give their pictures. And he will first profile them. Loners, achievers, who have no friends. And then once profiling them, offer 500 just to give a uniform, pictures. And then after a while, he will blackmail the children. He will place the face of the children with a naked body, and so the children will protest. And this predator will say that, look, I'm going to post this picture if we're not going to continue, until he controls them. And not only that, the worst is, there are children that he will tell them to go to a certain place, and these young children will be raped. And while being raped, it's being videotaped. And he will sell this in the dark web. And again, he will tell the children, you should do this, otherwise we will be posting this. 111 children. And I would like to thank, she's now here, General Portia Manalad, and the entire Children's and Welfare. Maraming salamat, Portia. She was the one who was able to trace this in the internet. And when she told me, I called up Hamad, my friend from the Interpol in Singapore. And then we had a meeting with Lieutenant General Dana of the UAE. And Dana reported it to Sheikh Saif Al Nahyan, who's the Minister of the Interior, also a good friend. And they were able to track this sexual predator. And 3 days ago, we went to Dubai and brought Chodo Mojica here to the Philippines to face justice. Masakit man ito, tanggapin na lang natin ang nangyari na ito, pero ang importante, not during our time. We will do something about this through the guidance of our President. That is why I would like to thank all of you who are here. Let's protect our children. Tama kayo, Iisang Nasyon, Iisang Aksyon, sugpuin ang OSAEC. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Eating our fancy food, continuing to suffer the same fate as he has. And accompanying those tears that I just shed was a deep sense of shame, because we have not done enough for the Philippines to now be considered the epicenter of, let us not shorten it into a clinical term, OSAEC. It is sexual abuse and exploitation of children. And I leave it to your imagination. And I would imagine in some cases your imagination cannot even begin to fathom what is done to these poor children, to our poor children. And so we must do more. We must do more. The Filipino culture, one of the most important part of the Filipino culture is family. We are known around the world for that. We are so well known for it that Filipinos are the number one caretakers of foreign children all around the world. I go and travel and meet important leaders all around the world. And they say, and I'm talking about kings and queens and presidents and prime ministers. And they say to me, I was raised by a Filipino. My second mother is a Filipino. And that's what we Filipinos are. We love our families. We adore our children. And for us to allow this to happen in our country brings to me an overwhelming sense of shame, because being in government, being in public service, we are not doing enough. We must do more. However, I am happy that we have now, together with the Interagency Council Against Trafficking and the Department of the Interior and Local Government, that we have had now this conference, and the IJM has organized this very important event. We are here today to confront one of the greatest challenges of our time. The challenges that we face in government are always the challenges that are brought to us by the future. And what exemplifies our future more, what symbolizes our future more than our children? And that is why this strikes at the very heart of our society. It undermines the foundations of what we are, of who we are as a people. In every community that is alive with the laughter and the chatter of children, there is a dark reality where 500,000 Filipinos, 1 in every 100 Filipinos, has been victimized. It is an appalling statistic. We cannot allow this to continue. We will not allow it to continue. This is a horrible scourge of online sexual abuse or exploitation of children, or OSAEC, which remains widespread now in our country. It's not a distant problem, all the victims just faceless and nameless children. Perhaps we do not know them. Perhaps we're not related to them. But they are all our children. They are Filipinos. We do not even have to go through the exercise of trying to imagine, oh, what would I feel if it happened to our children? It doesn't matter. Just look at the child. Think of any child. Any child. They live within our midst, and several, maybe the sons, daughters of those people we know. Their smiles, their brave smiles, innocent smiles, conceal the pain that is our nation's shame. As the sad reality is that many perpetrators are the victims' families or relatives, the very people that we expect to care for them. And as this is a battle that we must not lose, and we will not lose, this administration created the Presidential Office for Child Protection, or POCP, which is a critical step in our fight against this crisis. The POCP will serve as the epicenter of our efforts, bringing together resources and strategies to ensure that every child in our country is protected and supported. On the legislative side, such as the Anti-OSAEC and Anti-CSAEM Act, as well as the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2022, also underscore a relentless pursuit to bring these perpetrators to justice. Furthermore, our Tier 1 status in the Trafficking in Persons report shows that we as a country have made earnest efforts and leadership in combating the crimes of human trafficking and OSAEC. We have also set the global example of effective law enforcement, collaborating with Philippine Internet Crimes Against Children, or the PICAP. The Philippine National Police Women and Children Protection Center reported that it has rescued more than 1,099 victims of trafficking in persons and OSAEC, and arrested more than 100 suspects from 2022 to July of 2024. This might give us some satisfaction. If that is how many that we have apprehended, if that is the number of the children that we have saved, I cannot help but thinking how many are still left out there. That is a minority. That is not the majority of the victims. That is not the majority of these perpetrators. That is the minority. And we need to do more. It serves as a testament that this administration has an unwavering dedication to ending this kind of abuse. Be assured, we are fully committed to ensuring in protecting our children, who are the most vulnerable members of our society. It is our utmost priority to protect our innocents, the innocents, perfect little beings who are being hurt for money by the people that they trust. So to everyone here, this summit is a significant waypoint. a moment to reflect on our progress and renew our commitment to eradicating OSAEC. To our international partners, we extend our gratitude for your aid to us in continuing this fight. Your support has been valuable in our mission to save children, rescue victims, and give them a chance to start over. As we move forward, let us reflect on our roles in these critical battles. To the DSWD, the DOH, DOJ, DepEd, DILG, let us stand firmly by our sworn duty to protect the innocent children who have no power to defend themselves and have only us to look to do that for them. Continue to develop training programs, ensure that our law enforcement, the prosecution, social workers, teachers, other public servants are well equipped to handle these cases. Strengthen our criminal justice system to the end that all who perpetrate this abhorrent crime are put behind bars and made to pay for what they have done. And everyone should think not only twice, but 3, but 4, 5, 10, 100 times before committing this abuse again. I have said it before, I will say it again. This administration will do everything. We will spare no effort to combat these heinous crimes against our children. The LGUs have a unique position, as they are positioned to foster an environment where child abuse is not tolerated. Leverage your knowledge and experience to ensure that no child falls victim to OSAEC. With the launching of Report OSAEC, #Report OSAEC, we are hopeful that this will help increase community awareness of what OSAEC is, how we can prevent it, how we can help those who are suffering from these abuses, and the legal consequences for committing what we consider as the worst crime against humanity. To our communities, this administration implores you to be suspicious, be watchful, and report even the slightest inkling of abuse. I reiterate my message in the State of the Nation address. Let us not turn a blind eye to wrongdoings, because passivity enables evil to perpetuate. One call to the Makabata helpline, 1383, can save one child. Let us all make the Philippines the absolute worst place for those who abuse and exploit children. To our victims and survivors, your stories to continue to push us in the right direction. Your extraordinary courage motivates us to do better. Look at this young lady, what she has made of herself, besides all the evil that has been perpetrated to her and the people around her. And yet she has made something of herself. And this is what we destroy when we allow these exploiters to continue with doing what they are doing. That is what we destroy. We destroy that hope, that possibility, that life that is God-given and should not be taken away by anyone but God Himself. We cannot even begin to imagine the horrors that they faced. It's not their burden to carry alone. The entire government is with you. We hold your hand and walk along the arduous path towards healing and recovery. As we were discussing many of the measures that we were trying to put into place, I reminded all the heads of the different agencies what we are trying to do here, what is the most important part of this work that we are trying to do here, is to save the child, save that life. That should be always our primary consideration, because life, when taken away, never be returned. And for whatever we do, a part of that child's life has already been permanently taken away. Perhaps we can offer another option, another form, another chance at a good life. And that's what we have to always remember. This is not about crime. This is not about money. This is not about exploitation. It is about preserving and saving and making sure that our future is bright. Our children are our future. Let us save them. Let us keep them safe. Let us keep them healthy. Let us keep them strong. Because that way we keep our future safe and healthy and strong. It is that existential in its importance. We are resolute in our commitment to provide services that will help move the victims forward. such as therapy, reintegration to DSWD and its partners, including, of course, the IJM. Let us build a world where justice and compassion prevail and every child's safety and dignity are upheld. Dahil sa bagong Pilipinas, inaaruga at pinoprotektahan natin ang ating mga anak. Sa bagong Pilipinas, binibigyan natin ng pag-asa ang mga biktima. Sa bagong Pilipinas, sinisigurado natin na may mananagot sa mga nagsasala. Sama-sama po natin tapusin ang OSAEC. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po kayo na.
Once again, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Iisang Aksyon.